everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, the passing game will be a focus. The Cowboys are #1 in forcing interceptions, and they'll be up against the Lions team that will need to avoid those turnovers. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Gott and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. On 1st and 10, Stafford to the right side to Eric Ebron. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Stafford down to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
So we have to remember, this offensive unit, they've been off for the last 2 weeks. Had an open week, and so it might take them a little while to get back into rhythm. I know they worked hard to try and get past that in practice, but practice isn't game speed.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So here the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. And now a first down following that long gain. Here's Prescott. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. Touchdown, Cowboys! Dez Bryant, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know we know where we are right now. but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and December's still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Play action. Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. David Irving in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 33. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. They give him a gain of 38. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Flush to his right. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is. And
that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jason Witten, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, don't worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to,
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They go back to Riddick. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
He hits Riddick underneath. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 20. Gets through, and now an opening. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since that the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning. A second down throw for Prescott. This will be caught just inside the 10. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Oh, thank you. Prescott now. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And time to spotlight Golden Tate. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Ebron caught left side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to make it 4th down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Sam Martin now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at about the 28. Tough to bring Bryant down. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. 1st down, Prescott. He's got his man on the crossing route. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Red zone opportunity. Prescott on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Letting one go deep for the... Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will be brought down. His time is now run out on this first half of action. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Now Prescott eluding the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy. He came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
10th carry now for Elliott. And an alley to run. Oh, Zeke with a quick feet. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
That looked like a 2-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Second down, Prescott. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Able to shake him off. And that is incomplete. Kendall Wright, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. On the ground, it's Riddick. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. On first down, it's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he connects with Ebron. Stafford finding his big tight end Ebron for a Lion first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now Riddick spins by. And some space here. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On second down, here's Stafford. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. And here we go on 1st and goal. Here's Riddick. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Throwing, Prescott. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the 2nd person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted, like you said, to pick on the opening drive, 2nd drive, not much better. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass. Throwing again. Stafford out to the flat for Riddick. He's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Back to throw, Stafford. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked off by Jeff Heath. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target, and it'll bring up third down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. To throw is Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. They'll get 17 yards there. And it'll be first down, Detroit. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Throwing again is Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. The Lions on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. To the air again, Stafford. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective third down play to move the chains. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going. I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Orlando Scandrick. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. This is Elliott. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Forbath to add the extra point. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. Oh, did the Lions get it? Yes, they recover. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They're in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. He's going to let it fly. And it's intercepted in the end zone. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Dallas, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the